from a grandstand collapsing under the weight of the fans during a soccer match to a boxing match that brings together a man and a woman in the ring. Here are some unusual sporting events that have been filmed. Pyotr Mark Archuk, a member of the Russian bobsled team, was participating in the Olympic torch relay that was running through Russia during the Sochi Olympics in February 2014. The sportsman, who was in the city of Abakan, Siberia, was all happy to carry this flame and wished that the lenses of the cameras were all focused on him. But this man did not know that not only his joy would be filmed, but also the moment when one of the sleeves of his uniform caught fire because of the flame he was carrying. That's right, while he was running through the crowd, the unfortunate man saw the left sleeve of his uniform suddenly burn. Look at this incredible scene. You can imagine the poor relay men were panicked while trying to put out the fire, helped by other people. Fortunately, the fire was quickly extinguished, but our friend could say goodbye to his uniform. Well, he had another uniform that he was able to put on afterwards, and as they say, all's well that ends well. However, this relay man will keep a long time a bittersweet memory of this ceremony. Not sure that he can carry an Olympic flame again. A few years ago, during a fight of boxing which took place in Montevideo, the capital of Uruguay, the Dominican boxer Braulio Dominguez was facing on the ring the Argentine Marcos Martinez that he hoped to beat. But at one point, as Dominguez tried to hit his opponent in the second round, the latter collapsed on the ring without warning. Sure, he had won this fight, the Dominican waited wisely for the moment when his victory would be announced. This did not take long to happen. Dominguez had just won after knocking out his Argentinian opponent, but it must be said that this victory has made a lot of ink and has made a lot of talk about the Dominican boxer. Indeed, the latter found himself in spite of him in the heart of a controversy because his victory was simply doubtful. You only have to see the moment when the Argentinian falls to the ground while the Dominican barely touched him to realize that this knockout was simulated and that Martinez let his opponent win. For what reason? We don't know. Some say it was a fixed match because of betting or corruption. But whatever they say, Braulio Dominguez was able to savor his victory as it should be. Deserved victory or not, this boxer will remain forever linked to this case. Anderson Lopez, a Brazilian soccer player and former striker of the Japanese soccer club Consadole Sapporo, was playing a game in the J-League and had just scored a second goal for his team. And this new goal, Lopez wanted to celebrate it in his own way by running to the stands, except that a billboard was in front of him. However, this obstacle did not stop the Brazilian player, who it seems is used to jumping over advertising boards. So he continued to run without stopping and managed to jump over the billboard. But while jumping, Anderson Lopez quickly found himself in a pit that separated the pitch from the stands and fell 3 meters. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Fortunately, despite a few scratches perhaps, the player escaped without any serious injury. And he was even able to continue the game and score 2 more goals. More fear than harm. Nevertheless, it taught him not to repeat this kind of acrobatics on the field after a goal scored. But above all, to check well what is hidden behind the advertising boards. Ronnie Price, a player of the Los Angeles Lakers basketball team, was playing a game with his team against the Golden State Warriors. But while trying to shoot the ball towards the basket, the player slipped and ended up losing not only the ball, but also his shoe. Unable to do anything in this situation, Ronnie Price picked up his shoe and started to run with it, without missing to send it to the back of his opponent to try to stop him. Hilarious! Although he couldn't stop him, he still managed to continue the game by running on the floor without his shoe, while keeping his balance. While he must have felt uncomfortable because of this, he ended up putting his shoe back on and tightening the laces before resuming the game and forgetting about this awkward moment. But the internet doesn't forget, and Ronnie Price's video has been making the buzz and it continues to be the talk of the town. In this basketball game between Prosser and Grandview, the team in the white jersey was leading the game and was hoping to score a nice basket during the last minutes of the quarter played. However, the ball quickly got out of the hands of the player holding it, only to be taken by his opponent. The team in the white jersey was left to watch helplessly as the ball went into their basket at any moment. But a miracle happened. Much to their delight, the ball remained stuck on the basket, perfectly balanced between the board and the nets. Watch! Luck had just smiled on the players. On the other hand, we can say that their joy quickly gave way to a great astonishment, even a certain skepticism in front of this unexpected and unexplained situation. What if it was a paranormal phenomenon? This scene must have frightened these poor players. But fortunately, the referees quickly put an end to their questions by stopping the game and by moving them away from the basket and the ball. This is an unusual and curious scene that they will never forget. Last October, a group of fans in the Netherlands were enjoying the victory of their favorite soccer team after they won a game against another local team. Of course, these fans wanted to show their joy to the winners and show them how proud they were of their achievement. But what a surprise when they noticed that the winners had turned to them to share their joy. More and more excited, these fans simply got up from their seats to shout their victory by jumping, living a moment of pure joy in front of their favorite team. Except that this joy and excitement of too much ended up getting the better of them, since their stand did not resist to their jumps and their weight, and it ended up collapsing. Watch. It could have been very bad, but fortunately no one was under the stand at the time and no fans were injured. That's reassuring, but they will always remember this game. Sharon Latham, the official photographer of the Manchester City soccer team, was patiently waiting for the team's player to enter the locker room after a game they had just played. She was hoping to take some nice pictures of Mario Balotelli as he passed by. He was waving at some young fans, but against all odds, and while she was taking a picture of the Italian player, he grabbed her camera and tried to snatch it away. Mario Balotelli wanted to joke a little with her by taking her camera as a target. A little surprised in spite of her, the photographer has of course tried to resist, even managing at a time to hold his camera in his hands. But this only pushed the player to tighten his grip and finally succeeded in stealing her lens and running away from it. This was a very embarrassing moment for the photographer. Well, after all, it was only a joke on the part of the player, and the lady, who knew it perfectly well, quickly found the smile. We hope, however, that the player did not confiscate his lens for a long time. But what is sure is that Sharon Latham will remember well a long time this joke, which quickly became viral on internet. Imagine you are in a stadium, waiting for an American soccer game to start. You've been dreaming of attending a game played by your favorite team, the Carolina Panthers, for a long time. But as you look around the stadium, something suddenly catches your eye. Oh my! A gigantic panther has just appeared in the stadium and is about to jump on you after having struck you with its fluorescent eyes. Quickly, you leap out of your seat and manage to escape in time just as the animal jumps close to you and lands on the pitch. But this reaction only triggers the laughter of the fans, which reaches your ears and makes you feel very ashamed. Fortunately for you, one of the fans who had gone to look for you brings you back to your seat. Don't worry, this panther is not real. It is in fact a mixed reality mascot, or virtual reality, which was developed by combining different technologies in order to create the sensation and entertain a little the people present in the stadium. Impressive. But you must admit that this experience has scared you so much that you will never dare to set foot in an American soccer stadium again. Do you like boxing? Then you are one of the hundreds of millions of people who love the sport and don't miss any of its matches. However, if there is one thing you dream of seeing one day in the ring, it is a mixed fight between a man and a woman. You see, it exists. Well, you are all ears and especially curious to see what it looks like. Do you want to know? Then look. You stayed a long time watching this mixed boxing match that took place in China, without being able to take your eyes off the steps and movements of this male and female boxer who seemed to be facing each other on the ring. You were even amazed because your dream of seeing a man and a woman fighting in a boxing ring was finally realized. But you must admit that it hurt a little to see this woman facing the blows of her male opponent, who was quite skilled despite his size. However, you quickly forgot your discomfort as soon as you saw that this boxer was tougher than she looked, and that she was still trying to protect herself from the opponent's blows. You then concentrate on the game of the two boxers, and you even felt a lot of pleasure to follow the blows given here and there. And 1, 2, hop. Isn't it wonderful? This is a change from the classic boxing fights. In fact, since you watched this mixed boxing fight, you have become more passionate than ever about this sport. You have just seen some unusual and unexpected scenes that took place during sporting events. It's all very impressive, isn't it? But tell me, which of these scenes amused, fascinated, or shocked you the most? Leave us your answers and impressions in the comments. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.